Welcome everyone to a special edition of Rant Nation. And tonight I have a few of my panelists to join me tonight. And I would like to have Brian introduce himself.
I'm Brian Miller. I'm the host of the Star Wars Canon Library right here on Realm of the Mist. Yeah, I'm ready to do this tonight, guys. I'm really, really excited to rant because I'm so pissed off at some stuff.
And my upper left, we have Chris.
What's up? I'm Chris Stolle. I'm the CEO of Realm of the Mist Entertainment, host of Breaking the Fourth Wall and Raise the Underground. And all I know is the major burning question I have tonight is, what does it sound like when a star farts?
We're here to rant, Chris. And below Chris, we have the lovely and talented
Christina. There is an A. It's all right.
Listen, I'm ranting, okay? Let's go.
I could do a rant about that, about my name. Maybe people screw that up. Anyway, I'm Christina Tali. I am the host of That Trans Geek Girl, as well as a new show which should be releasing this weekend called Anime Asylum. I'm also a host on Breaking the Fourth Wall, as well as War of the Stars. I'm also the main editor, and I do pretty much everything Chris wishes he could do on Realm of the Mist.
Well, not everything I wish I could do.
All right. So I have the biggest beef and shit that's got me so effing pissed off.
You don't have to censor yourself.
Let it all out, bud.
Let it out. Don't say
All right,
effing. Say fucking.
Well, fucking Christ's sake, let me just say this. I am so fucking annoyed that someone had to stoop to the lowest point in their life is to call my main supervisor and sitting there talking, saying, I sell drugs to kids. Let me just tell you, when I heard that, the blood started to boil. I wish I could stick my hand through the phone and just fucking punch her in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, go ahead and give the whole story.
Come on,
you kind of gave
out.
it to me a little earlier, but so everybody else and our listeners know what you're talking about.
What I'm talking about is someone had the audacity that's been harassed me for $12 and has threatened that they were going to call children and youth, which I don't care because I'll laugh in children and youth faces. You want to come in my house? Go ahead. My kids got clean clothes. We have food in my house. So I don't see no issue. But when you personally have to stoop to the lowest fucking point in your life is to call my employer and sit there and talk about saying, I sell drugs to children, and couldn't even have the audacity to say it straight because you kept bubbling it up so many times. My supervisor was like, and I was like, she's on drugs. You know, for a person to stoop that goddamn low to go into my job, my employer, I have nothing to do with you and your bullshit with Liz. Your problems with her is for you to deal with her. To stoop to the lowest point in your life to call my employer to try to threaten my job, listen, honey, you're lucky I'm not in my 20s, because if I was in my 20s, I had a pile of girls that I would have called up, and they would have hunt your ass down and kicked your fucking ass.
Realm of the Mist does not endorse violence of any type or form unless your name is Justin Bieber.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, bullshit.
I mean, like I said, some of the panelists know me how I was when I was younger. I could give two shits. But one thing I've always stated, you have to stoop to the lowest point in your life to call somebody's job and to say some stupid ass shit like that. Okay, I have a 6-year-old child. I have a 9-year-old child that thinks he's like 27. Okay? Very intelligent. But the one thing is, I would never stoop to the lowest point to sell drugs to kids. You would have to be out of your fucking mind.
See, I don't even think that's the lowest point in this whole entire story. Right now, what's got my blood boiling more than anything else, and I know you're not a drug dealer and everything else. I've known you too many years. You know, no
But-
offense, you would you would ruin drug dealing.
I don't even think I
somebody
can make
walk
a
into your
correct
house.
sale. But
Somebody walk into your house to get a fix, and you'd be having like ABBA playing in the background and already screwing their trip already. But no, what bugs me the most in the story that you're telling me, what bugs me the most, it really, really bothers me, just in general when people have a vendetta against people for whatever the reason. What bugs me the most is that you would fuck with somebody's livelihood. This is Eric's life. This is how he takes care of his family. It's how he keeps a roof over his head, clothes on his back, food in his stomach for not just him, but his family. Your beef is that important that you would fuck up somebody's livelihood?
Over $12. Remember that.
it's based over $12. Because I told her, I said I was being nice because technically my fiance kind of owes her the money off the laundry card because, you know, she let her put money on Liz's laundry card, and Liz took her to do the laundry. And I said, listen, you don't need one of the texts was, I want my fucking $12. I was like, whoa. I was like, excuse me?
Why?
You know,
Why can't all I picture right now is the freaking newspaper boy from Better Off Dead, the John Cusack movie, who kept like terrorizing John Cusack through the entire movie. I want my $2.
and I was being generous and going to be nice to give her the $12. But when you keep demanding, and there's I guess what it's on message thing, you can actually make somebody pay you. She sends me a thing saying, pay $12. Pay or decline. I was like, I hit the word fucking decline. I ain't paying you $12. You harassing me for it. I was being nice, going to give you the $12 to shut your ass up. You know?
Once again, this is $12. Most people can make $12 in an hour.
Listen, she's living off her dad's money who passed away. Not a trust fund, you know, money he made while he was working, whatever that's called. His pension.
Inheritance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pension.
Yeah.
Pension or like, how old is this person?
I think she's got to be, I'm not sure, but I think she's got to be probably 30.
Okay,
She's
so
like
it's not the
the
same scenario when my dad passed away. I was a kid, so I collected his Social Security throughout my life to help
I don't know how
raise
long
me.
she's been collecting the money, whatever. That's besides the point. But the fact is that you harassing, okay? I got her texts. She actually finally blocked me. I was like, why are you blocking me for? I should be the one blocking you. I was like, because I'm not playing this childish game. She would do this shit while I'm working. You know? You're sitting on your fat ass while your twin girls are going around the house making a mess. Okay? You know I'm a nice guy, Chris. You know me. And I would do nice things for people. They had an issue in their apartment. Ready for this? Their complex does not have a maintenance man on call. So out of the kindness of my heart, I went over there, and ready for this, the access panel was behind the stove.
What?
And in the process, yeah.
Are we talking for the shower access panel?
At the complex that she's at, yeah, there's showers right behind the kitchen.
That's an intelligent place to put it.
And
Yeah.
let me tell you something. There was dishes all over the kitchen. There's a pot of hot dogs that look like they've been on there for a couple days.
Ugh.
Okay? So, and me, I
throw up a little in my mouth.
I have worked on disgusting units, barely any walking space, and I turned around.
Enough about the one lady at Jake in town.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Such a hoarder, she was collecting dead leaves and rocks.
Really?
From outside, yeah.
Right.
Had walking space like this big throughout the apartment.
So I was like, listen. I was like, before I left, I was like, listen, you have to clean up the kitchen. I was like, because you know what? You got these social workers that come out, you know, because her oldest daughter's in the children and youth custody right now. And I was like, and if you want to get your daughter back, I was like, you got to keep your house clean. She actually had some dude I don't know what the hell how she made him clean her kitchen up, or what she did to him. You know?
We can guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think we could pretty much figure that one out.
Right. But I left that alone. And I'm just like, I could have reported myself as to call that complex and say, yo, you know, someone called me up and said you had to issue one of your units and you guys don't have a maintenance guy, and I did the constant of my heart to repair the issue. And it was a washer and a valve stem. It was off. It was like a quick fix. I mean, the bathroom was disgusting. The kitty litter box that was in the bathroom, using that damn gravel litter, that was all over the place. Like, how do you expect to get your daughter back, you know, if you don't clean your apartment?
Yep.
And the rumor I heard is she has people come over and cleans her place and rewards. If it's a guy, I don't know what she does to the girls, but hey, who knows? But
this day and age, man, you never know.
Right. You know, tit for tat, you know, hot dog or the bun.
That could be the whole thing, tit.
And tat.
Well, who knows? And it's just disgusting. I try to do things for nice people, but, you know, now I know. You just woke up a beast inside me that I have put aside for over, Christ, 20 years it's been. You know, since I've been that hard at, you know, badass. I'm not like that no more. I am 43 going on 44 years old this Christmas.
And wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin vest.
And nothing else.
And nothing else.
Listen,
there is no shame in his game.
None.
Chris knows. Chris could tell you, my old bedroom, I used to have Stone Cold figures all over my ceiling, the wall. Oh, I'm like a
blow up doll.
Yes.
Blow up doll.
I didn't have that. I had the pillows.
I did.
That's just as bad, Eric.
Listen, I'm a fan. I was a fan of that wrestling. Chris has went to pay-per-views with us. Okay? That's what I'm into. Nowadays, Chris knows. He used to live with me. He could tell you I had over 300 CDs. Okay? I barely went out. When I was living up in Glenside, the apartment I first was doing that job, dude, I would just order CDs, DVDs, because I know there's so much bullshit outside. I was trying to get away from it. You know what I mean?
He to illustrate his point on that, when I was living there, his wife at the time, ex-wife now, but his wife at the time, forced him to take me out for a beer for my birthday. She actually had to argue with him and force him to take me out to go get a beer.
Well, no, oh, you're talking about, Chris, but you're talking about Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, they wanted me to go out. I'm like, why? It's like, do something with Chris. Like, they had to force me to get out of the house. I was very seclusion. You know, because Chris knows, I've seen so much bullshit, dealt with so much. Sometimes I just wanted to seclude myself into my own realm and where I was at peace. And people used to come out like, Eric, how many DVDs you got? I'm close to 250. Like, what do you do? I buy DVDs and watch them. Yes. What's your count up to?
687.
Jesus.
I used to have close to that, but like I said, I must have been giving away my
DVDs for Blu-ray.
DVDs because I'm transferring over to Blu-ray, and I'm getting big on them. So, oh God, I might hit 300 probably by next year. This is why, like I say, I'm a good person. I do things for people, but when you stoop as low and stab me in the back, more or less, you stabbed me in the chest. And I was nice. She had 2 girls, twin girls. I was nice. She used to come over to this apartment, and I made dinner. I used to cook out in the hot sun, you know, having barbecues, you know, and it was our food. Liz, and, that she would buy, and I would cook it on the grill outside in the heat. I don't want to stoop to her level. That's why I'm doing it the right way by going to the police station. I had texts where she's threatened me about the $12. She was already warned not to mess, with us, because I can have her arrested. I got physical evidence on my phone threatening about the $12.
Get a protection from abuse against her, which is no contact.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that this woman is going to go to jail over $12.
Yeah, same here.
Well,
I seriously cannot wrap my head around that.
And here's the thing:
from personal
she's already
experience, it takes
having
less than
issues
that to even get
with her kids
harassment
being
charge.
removed.
True.
Okay, she's already got one child that's already in children and youth up here, and in the suburbs they call it children and youth. Chris, if he's in, because Chris is like in the suburbs, so they call it children and youth. But if you are in the city of Philadelphia, it's called DHS.
Yeah, in Delaware it's DFS.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. They have different names for it. Because when I was going to having issues with Liz at one time, because she was trying to get custody of my oldest, Kyle, and the people that we called them PBC before the judge. I can't think of their name.
Magistrates.
Yeah, they try to solve the issue, and the lady minister said it to Liz right in the room. She's like, what makes you think if you're called DHS, what makes you think by you calling DHS, you're going to get your kid back? She's like, he's going to go into the system. I mean, she put it to her straight. And she's like, do you have a stable home? She's like, as far as I can tell, you're moving from one house to another house. Liz used to like to move around. It's not good. And I was at the Mount Vernon for 10, 11 years. Lady's like, she goes, what I could do right now, and looking at Liz, she's like, I could give Eric full permanent custody. And she's like, looked at me and said, what do you want to do? I said, I don't want to do that. I want her to be able to see her son, spend time with her son. And that lady looked at Liz and said, this is a good man. He's not trying to stick the shit to you. He's trying to have you in your son's life.
I see what you're doing now. I see what you're doing now. I see what you're doing. You had to get the beef off your chest about the $12, but now you're trying to raise my ire about the fucking family court system. All right, motherfucker. I got my rant for you. Go ahead.
Hey, this is what this show's about. You got something to get off your damn chest about anything? Do it. That's what we're here for.
And
Brian
cue Chris.
Slips up, so I know some shit's he's going through. Gotta be.
Oh my God. I don't know if I should blame the family court systems or my fucking psychotic fucking hose beast neighborhood hardware store, 10 cents a screw, 5 cents a fucking nut, fucking ex-wife of a fucking whore, or the fact of the matter is that the Philadelphia family court systems, DHS, and all the above are completely gender biased against the male genitalia. If you are a father, to them you are nothing more than an ATM and a sperm donor. You are nothing else. You do not have any rights. It doesn't matter if you and your wife separated because she was fucking every guy on the fucking planet and blocked you from taking your children with you when you left. It doesn't matter about any of that type of shit because as far as they're concerned, you're a deadbeat until either the mother screws up so bad that they have no choice but to give the kid to you, or you prove to yourself to be the next fucking Bill Gates, in which case they know for a fact, oh, well, he could definitely afford child support, but which is the bottom fucking dollar. Right now, what I'm going through, let me finish. Right now, what I'm going through, one of the major problems that Realm Limits is going through is it's completely personally funded. Everything in Realm Limits right now is on my dime. You know, we don't have a pool of money or anything else to be able to upgrade equipment or otherwise. So the websites and the connections to things like SoundCloud and shit like that, that's on me. I don't mind doing it, but the reason I'm kind of fucking being like frugal about everything right now is on top of the fact that I am paying over 50% of my paychecks every 2 weeks to child support. I have to collect up another $1,000 fucking dollars or go to jail. They want another additional $1,000. My ex-wife wants an additional $1,000, and the courts agreed to it. That if I don't have it in 90 days, I go to jail.
For what purpose, though?
Contempt of an order.
What contempt of an order?
That they want $1,000, and if I don't pay it, I'm in contempt and I go to jail.
But why? But what was the reasoning that you have to come up with $1,000?
Because Heather doesn't feel like she's getting enough money.
Really?
Yeah.
And also due to arrears payments that are still in arrears, thanks to let me explain how arrears works in Philadelphia court systems for those specifically for Brian who don't understand because they don't have children yet.
Mm-hmm.
And God forbid you ever have a child out of wedlock and a woman takes you for child support. When a woman wants child support, she goes down and she files with the court system. It could take up to 6-7 months before you finally get a court date to go and set support, where they take a look at her money, they take a look at your money, they take a look at her bills, they take a look at your bills, and supposedly and partially figure out what is the best course of action of how much money we could take from party A and give to party B without jeopardizing party A's livelihood or well-being. Bullshit. Once they do that, okay, you set to it, and it's like, okay, you're going to pay X amount of dollars every week, every other week, every month, whatever the case may be, however you get paid. But then you automatically are in the arrears from the point she filed. They add it all up, and from the point she filed, you are already $1,000 in the hole from the day you walk out of court setting it. That's the way the system works. They decide, well, okay, even though we waited 7 months to allow you to be able to even find out how much you should be paying in child support, and even if you were giving money to the significant other or ex-significant other, because it wasn't on the records with the courts, it doesn't count. As far as we're concerned, you are now 7 months in arrears, and you need to pay this up. And that lords over you the rest of the time. Now, take into consideration that I've been dealing with that type of shit. And, of course, that also works when she goes for increases. She files for an increase, takes a couple months to get there. If she gets the increase, you get the arrears for the back increase from the day she filed. Now, when I transferred jobs, you know how some jobs, when you transfer from one to another, you have to wait a fucking paycheck to get a paycheck and stuff of that nature. Well, that's a missed support payment.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's where it's turning around, and she used all that shit against me when we were in court, and she was looking for her fucking increase, and they denied her increase, and she says, well, he's not giving me enough, and he's missed all these fucking payments here. It's like, that's arrears from the date they set. That's arrears from when you got your fucking $10 a fucking month increase. That was when I transferred from job A to job B, and she says, I don't care, I want $1,000. And the courts made me agree to it, and if I don't comply by September 18th, I go to jail. That's the fairness of the Philadelphia court system.
Here's a question.
I will say one thing on the other side of the Philadelphia court system after Brian.
How often do you ever hear of women paying child support?
Next to never.
And then on top of that,
I can't speak for the United States. I can only speak for Philadelphia. But yeah,
right.
Go ahead.
Right on top of that, also, how often do you ever hear of the father who got full custody even asking for child support?
Actually, I do. My friend Kevin Elsaucer, he had custody of his son, but they were so lenient on the girl because, you don't have a job, like for Chris thing, he didn't have a job, so they made him have it's called a job form. Chris had to show them that he was applying for jobs. You know? And, oh, yeah.
Now, here's the fucked up thing about, like, going to if you wind up in contempt, this is something I checked into, and you guys can rant in on this if you want, because I found this to be completely retarded and stupid. Okay? If I were to go into contempt for that $1,000, okay, say September 18th, I don't have the money, they slap me in cuffs, they take me to jail, in which case I lose my job, I lose my home, blah, 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 blah. But the determinate time that I would spend in jail is until I pay the $1,000.
And how the hell are you supposed to do that when you're sitting in a cage?
Exactly.
Because every day you're in jail is worth X amount of money, like $3 or something fucking stupid like that.
So I would be spending years in jail to pay $1,000 like I was a fucking murderer or rapist.
Like
simply
fucking
because
prisons
I
aren't
couldn't
overcrowded
afford it.
enough, right?
Simply because I couldn't afford it. Now, here's the thing. If I don't pay this money, and that's why it's financial, that's why I have an issue. I don't pay this money, I get marked as a bad parent. Okay? Even though, hey, I just couldn't afford it. You take over half my paycheck. I got bills to pay. I got food to fucking buy. I still got to take care of my kids when I have them. You know, and stuff of that nature. But whatever the case may be, if I wound up in that scenario, in that situation, I get treated like a deadbeat, like a father who doesn't take care of his children. They don't take into account that I take care of my kids, that my kids have a nice home, that my kids have nice clothes, that my kids have toys and stuff of that nature, that I interact with them and teach them and play with them and go to their sporting events and blah, blah, you know, all the things that a father should do. That doesn't get it taken into account. All it is, well, you still didn't pay a full $1,000 plus your child support every 2 weeks.
The child support system sucked.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I gotta say.
I will say.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I will say I've had dealings with the Philadelphia family court system as well for a different aspect. Last year I was in a relationship. And the guy I was in a relationship was highly abusive. And after I left him in July of last year, or actually the end of June last year, just to give everyone a quick synopsis.
I know the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the story.
However, I was drug into court from middle of July to January. January 10th was my last court date. Oh, no, I'm sorry. January 14th was my last court date, and that was when I had finally got my PFA against him, which is a protection from abuse, which kind of stalled his whole BS in the tracks. But I usually don't talk about it much because I just don't like talking about it, but this motherfucker drug me, the person who escaped his bullshit, through the court system twice a week. I'm talking twice a fucking month. Twice a fucking month I had to go to court for this motherfucker in 7 months. So let me break down how many days missed out of work that is. You know?
Well, I know.
14 fucking days out of work. I lost my fucking car over this. Over this fucking bullshit. And yeah, I didn't always drive a piece of shit Jeep. I actually had a decent little Hyundai. And I had fucking lost that because of him. However, because of the money lost. Now I'm driving to Philly from Dover. That's a 2-hour fucking trip. Do the math on that one. 2-hour trip, $30 worth of fucking parking when I hit Philly. Yeah, it's 2 hours back. So, yeah, a trip to Philly would cost me about $250 fucking dollars to go to fucking court. And that's a reality of fucking my life for fucking a long time. And you know what's really funny? I remember when I was in Delaware court and I was going for my PFA. This was the rehearing for my PFA because I had a PFA on him as a default, which means he didn't show up. But then he wanted to contest it because it was default. They had to re-fucking hear it. So he was playing in 2 fucking fields. And I remember when I went in, I requested what they call a relief, which is money that you feel is owed to you. And I asked for the sum of $1,000. And I asked,
Magic
what
number.
Well, no, I asked for a reason because I calculated. Because honestly, you can see here, I've lost a lot of money because of his shenanigans, because of his everything. From having to move on an emergency, to being homeless for 5 weeks, to multiple days missed at work, travel to defend myself against bogus claims. The sum comes way past $1,000. I'm asking for $1,000 just as relief. So I can try to get back on track. And I got denied it. She turned around and said, I don't believe you deserve $1,000. You know, you're getting a 1-year PFA against him. That's good enough.
That shit don't work. Are you kidding me? Restraining order against somebody? That shit don't work. Look on the news. How many women have been murdered because the ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, whatever they are, disobey it?
Why do you think? Why do you think, first of all, that I don't give my address out? Why do you think I live in the middle of nowhere? Because of fear. I'm not very easy to find. Even people that know my address can't find my house very easily. I'm not kidding. I live in between fucking farms. I am very like where I'm at, it's shotgun justice out here. I'm not even kidding. Brian knows.
Best way to have it.
It's fucking shotgun justice, because guess what? The cops will never get here in time. Because the closest police station is probably 15 fucking minutes away.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, it's fucking bullshit that these shitty motherfuckers out there, this is my point I was getting to, that these shitty motherfuckers out there, you know, fucking somebody who couldn't keep their fucking legs closed and drag somebody like Chris through the fucking dirt, somebody who's fucking wants to almost destroy somebody's life, their fucking livelihood over $12 fucking dollars. $12. Okay, it costs, what, just put it in this aspect, how much fucking gas does that get you? Barely fucking any. It gets you a couple gallons. Yeah, if that. Let's be honest. So yeah, that's a little bit of gasoline that gets you up the road. It's fucking nothing. It literally is nothing. Then you got people who fucking make somebody run for their fucking lives in fear, yet they fucking, want to act the fucking victim. Fuck, this is why fucking human race is doomed to fail. I swear. Because you got all these self-centered motherfuckers out there, and that's what all these are. That's what all three of these stories have in common. They're all self-centered motherfuckers. They really are. They put themselves best. They feel they're better than everyone else. They believe the rules don't fucking apply to them. And they can do what the fuck they want and shit all over good fucking people. I've known Eric, I've known Chris for over 20 fucking years. Okay? I'm not even gonna lie. I fucking known them for years. Okay? And I'm sorry, out of everyone in that crew we used to hang out with, Eric would be the last fucking person I would ever expect to be selling drugs to anybody. That dude, I don't think that dude could sell fucking ice cream. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, Eric, but yeah, I don't think you could sell ice cream because you don't have the salesman mentality. Yeah, exactly. You'd give it away because that's who you are. I don't have
that kind of ability or that pitch. Me, Chris could tell you, I'm a downright hard worker. When I worked in the warehouse, Chris knew. Okay, I'd be stripping 1,300 piece trucks, Kmart, Model trucks. I mean, I dealt with a lot of companies when I was in that warehouse. I helped get Chris in. Chris would tell you, you sweat your ass off in them trailers. You know?
He would just pop in his Walkman. Yes, that's how old we are. He popped in his Walkman and he just went to town.
Well, like I was saying, though, to get back to it, though, but Eric is a good person. He's the kind of person that couldn't sell ice cream like I was getting to because he would probably end up giving it away to the kids because it feel bad because the kid didn't have the fucking money to buy the ice cream. That's the kind of person Eric is. Eric has a fucking heart of gold. He really does. We may bust each other's chops a lot, but we're family. We're allowed to do that. When you've known each other as long as we do bust each other's chops. But Eric has a fucking heart of gold. So does Chris. I can tell you how many countless times this motherfucker went out of his own fucking pocket when he only had a few dollars to help somebody out. Okay? And for him to get, and he gets gouged in child support. Gouged. I mean, this shit's ridiculous because his ex is shitty. Plain and simple.
The fact of the matter is the way it breaks down, and it may not necessarily apply to Eric's case as much as Christina's and mine, as far as like in the court systems, but just the court systems in general. The problem is to play off what Christina said about how, it's shitty people that only think about themselves and what's in it for them and that they're above this and above that. But they're also the type of people that have abused the fucking system to the point that the system no longer cares. The system, if you think back in the day, like in my particular case, if you think back way back in the day, they were a little bit less woman biased in Philadelphia. You know what ruined the equality in that? Deadbeat dads. When you see enough this is the one time I will actually defend the court system. You see enough deadbeat dads, you start seeing all of them as deadbeat dads.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not the way the system works, but that's the way the system is. I get that. You start getting tunnel vision. You see a swinging dick.
You get desensitized.
You get desensitized. You see a swinging dick automatically. Yeah, he's a fucking deadbeat. He doesn't care about his kids. He doesn't care about anything but, going out and getting his dick wet with the next piece of strange he can get. No, that's not the case. There are more good fathers that are getting dragged through the fucking system that are being denied their rights, their services, whatever, because of the fact that they're fucking bitch ass ex-wife. And the problem is nowadays the females know it. This is the problem.
And they use it to their advantage.
It isn't even so much the courts, it's the females know it. They know they can hoard it over you. They can hold it over your head, that the courts will side with them, and they will fuck with you every which way from Sunday to do
it. And the only way us, the men, can get their way is you got to have the money to hire a decent-ass attorney. That's the only way it can change in favor of the men. But how can... I feel bad for Chris because you're taking so much bread out of his pocket. How the hell do you expect him to afford an attorney? And they got these free attorneys. Are you kidding? They're greener than green.
I will say it like I said when I fired my public defender, because I had a public defender who got me into this position. When I fired them, I turned around and said I'd have better luck, and I apologize in advance for anybody listening. I don't mean to be offensive in any way, but I'm going to say it exactly the way I said. I would have had better luck hiring the Down syndrome kid cleaning tables at McDonald's than these attorneys that they give you as your right to an attorney. It's absolutely ridiculous. They don't care. They don't care. They're not getting paid for it, so they don't give two shits.
I mean,
they expect the men to go out and hire David Shapiro to hire them for their case. Like we can afford that kind of money.
Well, here's the other thing too. I mean, talking about money too. I'm not gonna really go into too much detail about it, but Chris has told me how much he makes. Then he tells me how much he brings home after child support, and it is fucking grossly different. Okay, when he told me how much he brings home to fucking live off of, after, he pays all his child support and all this other bullshit, my first question to him is like, how the fuck do you live? I mean, it's literally that low. It's in that range where, technically, if you looked up poverty levels, he'd probably be in the damn poverty level. And this dude works his ass off 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And he's living in poverty? Please.
And then I'll put it to you straight. If it was, and I've said this in court, if it wasn't for my girl, Jen, who part-time lives with me because she has to live down at her parents when she works because of transportational issues, stuff of that nature. If it wasn't for her, I would be homeless because I couldn't afford the place. I couldn't afford to feed myself. I couldn't afford transportation. I wouldn't be able to take my kids out and buy them a toy once in a while, or a new pair of sneakers because their old ones popped a hole in them. That's how poor I have to live. I robbed Peter to pay Paul.
Why his ex-wife lives like she's Richie Rich.
Yeah, vacations.
Oh yeah, she just got back. She just literally got back last week from fucking Florida. I'm scrounging up to get $1,000, and she takes my oldest son, the other two kids, her other two kids with the dude she cheated on me with, his kid, all down to Florida. They're spending the day. I've got pictures and videos of my kids going by the Epcot Center and everything else and going on rides at Disney World and shit like that. But I live on fucking ramen noodles and microwavable pizzas during the week, and they're in Florida.
I mean, Chris, we can go back to days when I lived on Denton Street. Come on now. We used to go to freaking Save-A-Lot and get the damn 99-cent pizzas. Everything was like so generic. We used to buy so much generic shit and just we would live off that.
Yeah, the problem is I'm 40 fucking years old now and I'm still living like that. But unlike 20 years ago where I, was more interested in getting laid and getting drunk and trying to live that rock star lifestyle where a 99-cent pizza was a sustainable thing to me, I'm a 40-year-old man with a family. I want home-cooked meals. I want proper food, healthy food in my home to take care of me and my family, and I can't afford that. There's a reason I got this fucking gut, and it ain't from drinking because I can't afford to drink. It's from fucking eating garbage food instead of real food. And the fact, like Eric and like Christina, I've become a recluse. You go back 20 years ago where I was, acting stupid. Like Christina said, Eric would be the last guy on the planet to sell drugs because he would probably give it away for free. I would be the last person to sell drugs because of the fact that I would fucking probably do them all. I was that much of an idiot 20 years ago. Not that I did drugs, but that I was, I was nuts back in the day. I get drunk and do stupid things.
For some people in this world, just like Chris is saying, you have to be, I reference it as this way, you got to be such a jackass to sell drugs and you have kids and you to turn around and say, drugs are bad. You know what I mean? But yet, how many kids out in this world have drug addict parents?
Oh, fuck that. How many fucking kids are selling drugs? How many of these drug dealers? Because this is something I'm going to fucking say. I've been around the hood, okay? I've been to the fucking Badlands in Philly. I've seen this shit with my own fucking eyes. They have fucking...
K&A.
They have, I'm talking not just fucking teenagers. I'm talking 10, 11, 12-year-olds as fucking spotters and dealers because if they get fucking busted, it's a slap on the wrist compared to a fucking adult gets busted. So these kids are going to get their lives fucking destroyed because of these assholes. I mean, there's a fucking reality right there. You want to go on a fucking rant? There's a fucking rant for you. The fucking, these piece of shit motherfuckers, they're fucking nutty. Don't even want to get their own fucking hands dirty. They get their fucking kids' hands dirty.
Well, let's before Eric goes in there, the last Rant Nation that was inspired to be done, as Eric knows because he was the one that put it together. That's why this became his show. The last one we were defending one of our brothers on Realm of the Mist, Mark, John Tali, because of the fact that some YouTuber fucking blasted him about his opinion about the Great Jedi, which all joking aside, we all know how I feel about Great Jedi, but at the same time, it's like, I don't hate anybody who believes Great Jedi exist or don't exist. But they took it to the point where they were accusing John of being a child molester simply because they didn't agree with his opinion. And now we have another idiot this week attacking Eric for $12, trying to claim that he's another fucking pond scum of the earth that would sell drugs to children. It takes a special kind of person to be a child molester. It takes a special kind of person to sell drugs to kids, and it's not right to accuse somebody that would never fucking do that. It takes a very special fucking moron to do either of those fucking things.
We haven't heard from Brian much.
Yeah, he's actually been quiet this time.
It's hard to relate to something like that since I don't have any kids.
Yeah, but it's just like me. I still get all that Canon library stuff about Star Wars. It's I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because like Christina, Chris, and Brian, you guys give me good insight. More of the Star Wars series. Like I said, the first Star Wars movie I saw, and it's like I have to say it's always going to be my favorite, is Return of the Jedi's. I got a really good kick out of the Ewoks, okay? That will always be my favorite. All right? But besides that, I have always dated girls. Chris can vouch for it. I've always dated girls with a child. Okay? I like being around kids. I like being a role model. I mean, at my old complex, let me just say this. I used to have like 20 kids outside my window, okay, when I just walked in the apartment to sit down to get ready to eat, going, Eric, you going to come out and play some kickball with us over at the school? Because I started a thing with the kids in the complex. And that's what they look forward to every day of the week. I was like, listen, I'm really tired of it. They're like, come on. I was like, all right, I'll be over there in about an hour. You know what I mean?
I remember that when I was living on your couch. How many times did we go out there with the hockey nets and sticks and fucking right in the parking lot and we just play hockey with the kids?
Well, that's because Eric, you are a big kid, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I'm a big kid. Like I said, I have my childish fetishes and I have my addictions. Like I said, I'd rather spend my money on movies, video games, because one thing I know it's not going to do is get me in trouble. And
unless you're pirating them.
Right.
You wouldn't download a car, would you? Fuck yeah, I would.
Yeah, right.
Find me the site for that one, please. I'm sorry, I will say that was still the dumbest commercial ever. The fucking anti-piracy commercials in the 90s. Yeah. You wouldn't download a car, would you? Who the fuck wouldn't download a car? Seriously. I'm thinking about download the Mercedes today and drive that one.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck? That's a dumbass thing to say.
All right, well, we all ranted, and I agree with Christina. Brian, although he can't necessarily, relate to the specific topic, I'm sure there's something that he wants to get off his chest.
He get anything he wants to say, get off his chest, get right ahead, Brian. It's all yours.
There's got to be something that's eating at you. Let it out.
I don't know if I should rant about... Okay, I'm going to let you guys pick. Do I rant about, and one of them relates a little more to what you guys were talking about. One has nothing. It's Star Wars. It's me, so you should know it's Star Wars. The Star Wars one is the book Heir to the Jedi. And then, or we can talk about okay, first off, I'm not one to talk bad about anybody, but the other one is we can talk about my piece of shit, whoring, cheating, deadbeat, greedy piece of shit mother.
Let's go with that one.
If I've got a vote, I'm gonna say it this way. I think we should talk about your mother. Tell me about your mother. But I think we should end the episode.
Did you really just go there, Chris?
Yes, I did. But I think we should end the episode with Heir to the Jedi. It's Eric's call. It's his show. Because of the fact that I think we should end it with some sort of entertainment, being that we are an entertainment channel.
Oh.
So I say both.
Okay. All right. So, I don't ever talk to anybody about this. I don't even think I've told you guys about this. My mother turned out, and I never thought I'd say this about anybody, let alone my own mother, turned out to be the biggest piece of shit I've ever known in my life. Everything was great until, first off, I lost my dad in 2012. Very suddenly, he was 49. Nobody saw it coming. It wasn't anything we knew was going to happen. It was just, I talked to him on the phone. My mom called me 2 hours later, said she found him in bed. It was literally that sudden. And we got through all of that. And then, okay, so here's the deal. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start this because I'm already shaking, just thinking about her.
Get it out.
So
therapy.
We were living in Ohio, and I was with Kirsty, I'd already met Kirsty, and Arkansas. What?
Yeah, you kind of froze for a second. Okay.
Oh,
I
the only family.
Freak out a little bit because I thought his facial expression. I thought he was having a stroke or something. I was like, "Can somebody get me to call Kansas 911?"
So, my mother tells me one day, we're living in Ohio still. I hadn't even started the Canon library yet, nothing. And she was like, I'm moving back to Arkansas. I was like, okay, because the only family I had at the time was my grandparents, her mom and dad, and my aunt and uncle, her sister and her husband. And she wanted to move back down and take care of my grandparents. And Kirsty's family was moving to Kansas at the time, and, she was going to Arkansas. So me and Kirsty were talking like, oh, do we stay here? Do we go? If we go, which way do we go? So we finally decided, because she had lived with her grandparents most of her life, that we were going to go to Arkansas so I could spend some time with my grandparents, who I'd only ever seen, 3 days out of every year growing up, like 3 days a year. That's all I ever got to see my grandparents. And I looked up to my grandfather. He was my hero, man. And anyway. So we decide we're going to Arkansas. My aunt and uncle come up to help us move, and we get down to Arkansas. And my mother comes back to help to get rid of the house, to sell the house and stuff. And it was me, Kirsty, and my sister living in this house in Arkansas. My aunt and uncle lived like 2 miles down the road. I'm already shaking, guys. Like, it's just, ugh. Okay, so we were there for like 3 months. And over the course of that 3 months, I realized what a manipulative piece of shit my sister is. To the point where we are almost convinced that she had something to do with my father's death. But we can't prove it because he was cremated. I mean, it's that fucked up. Like, no lie. But she was feeding lies to my mother while she was still in Ohio, saying that Kirsty and I never did this. We never cleaned the house. We weren't getting jobs. Well, first off, we were the ones cleaning the house every goddamn day when we woke up, and we were out job searching all the time. But my sister wasn't about to fucking tell my mother that. And then my mother moves down, and she sees how badly my sister is. I don't know if she saw how bad my sister was, because I truly believe my sister is literally psychotic. Like, I'm not even convinced she has a soul. Like, it's that bad. I'm seriously convinced. But anyway, it came to a head one night, and I don't even remember what the fight was over. It was something so stupid. Oh, it was I had proof that they always got mad at us, trying to say we weren't telling them everything. We told them everything. It's just typical family drama bullshit, right?
Right.
And just stuff nobody ever wants in their lives. Stuff I didn't even want to fucking deal with. I'm just like, I don't even want to fucking talk about this. You can accuse me whatever the fuck you want to accuse me of. I know what's right. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to do me. So it all comes to a head one night, and my mother finally tells me to my face, and she's smiling while she says it. Now, granted, we had nowhere else to go. At 2:30 in the morning, she tells me, and by the way, I was supposed to start, this was on a Saturday night. I was supposed to start a job Monday that I'd finally gotten. I'd finally gotten a good job. It was going to pay like $16 an hour. Like, I was locked in, ready to go Monday. Hadn't told anybody yet because I was going to surprise them, right? Sunday night when I was like, well, I'm going to bed early, got to work tomorrow, blah, and everybody's like, whoa, really? I was going to do that. So Saturday night, my mother finally tells me, you're a piece of shit. You don't have a job. You're not helping around here at all. I want you out of my house. At 2:30 in the morning. Granted, we had 2 cats and a rabbit at the time. Oh, no, we had 2. Yeah, it was 2 cats and a rabbit at the time. Everything we owned was in that house. All we had was Kirsty's little Mercury Tracer and my little S10. How the fuck were we supposed to take everything with us? Like, seriously, how the fuck were we supposed to do that? Had nowhere to go. So in the middle of the night, we up and drove halfway here to Kansas to where her family was. It was the closest thing we had, And we stopped, got a hotel, and then drove the rest of the way the next day. So we ended up here in Kansas, right? Everything's great. Now that I finally cut my mother and my sister out of my life, I'm happy, right? Like, I'm the happiest guy ever. I still am. Like, even just talking about this is like, I need a cigarette when I'm done with this, but I'm going to be happy about it, right? So I'm getting to the rant part. Trust me. It's coming very, very soon.
All right.
About to explode.
Oh, it's coming. I'm getting shaken up right now. I'm getting ready to pop. And that looked really bad and sexual. I didn't mean it that way. So
he's stroking and stroking and stroking, and the rant
shake
is about to ejaculate.
We're shake weighting this sumbitch. So a few months go by, and we take a couple trips down to Arkansas to get some more of our stuff out of the house, right? And here and there, and come to find out my Xbox 360 is missing. And it was there the trip before, and I didn't take it with me. So I asked my mother and sister where it was. Something material. I was more pissed off about the fact of the matter that they stole it than I was the Xbox. And, oh, no, we didn't take it. Okay, whatever. So I checked all the pawn shops around town, didn't find it, nothing like that. But I had the serial number, and I had it registered on Microsoft.com, on Xbox.com.
Yeah.
So I reported it stolen by serial number. So if that thing ever comes online, it's getting pinged. But anyway. So I'm starting to get to the point, like this is several months later, where I'm starting to kind of get over everything. I'm just starting to toy with the idea of letting bygones be bygones, right? That was in August of 2015. Now we are in, let's see, what would it be? March of 2016? Something like that? It wasn't this year, so it was 16. I get a call from my aunt one night. I'm getting ready to host karaoke at a bar, and this is where shit goes bad. I get a call from my aunt. She's bawling her eyes out. And she asks me, have you talked to your mother lately? Her sister. No, I haven't talked to her at all since we left. Why? What's going on? And she goes, did you know that she's been fucking my husband behind my back? Oh, just wait. My uncle.
Jerry.
My uncle was a man that I really looked up to. He was more of a big brother than anything, right? He was cool to be around, whatever. The moment I heard about that, I've heard the term seeing red before. I never knew physically what that meant. I was literally seeing, like somebody put a red film in front of my eyes. Everything had a red glow to it. I was so, oh my God. Like, I was this close to making bygones be bygones for my mother. And saying, hey, look, as long as I'm not talking to my sister, we can still talk a little bit, right? Not after that. So then, she tells me that the night my uncle came and told her about it, she asked him, how'd she say it? She said, how does it feel? Because my mother has my father's urn of ashes on her dresser. I don't know where she has it now, but she had it on her dresser at the time. And she asked him, how does it feel to be fucking my sister in front of Mike, my dad? And he looked her dead in the eye and said, it doesn't matter, he's dead. I've never, like, as soon as she told me that, the only reason I didn't go to Arkansas and murder some motherfuckers was because I didn't have the money to put in my gas tank that particular Friday. I didn't have it. I had to call Kirsty. She had to talk me down. She had to convince me not to fucking go. Blow their fucking heads off. Like, you disrespect my father like that? Are you fucking serious? So I've decided nothing to do with them whatsoever, right? Well, the whole reason we moved to Arkansas was so I could spend time with my grandfather, who at the time was 81 years old, wasn't doing very well. He was already 3 strokes in. He's been on borrowed time for the last 20 years. And
still alive?
No.
Okay.
And we get the call that it's close to being that time, right? Like, I need to get down there, like, right now. So I make the drive down for my grandfather. And I get down there the night before, but I didn't make it to the hospital in time. And my aunt was talking to me one night, and we did the math and we looked at dates. My grandfather was in the hospital 5 times that year after we found out about my mother and my uncle, who is, by the way, now, it's official, is my stepfather. Just want to say that, by the way. They got married. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This big baby Huey looking motherfucker married my piece of shit mother. Like, seriously. They fucking deserve each other. I swear to God they do. They are the biggest pieces of shit on the face of this planet. Nobody fucking likes them. Everybody I've ever talked to talks shit about them. But anyway. So, I come to the realization that my grandfather, who hadn't been in the hospital hardly at all before all this happened, was in 5 times over the course of that year. And that he finally couldn't take it anymore. And my aunt let my mother go visit him one more time. Like, was the bigger person and told my mother, hey, Dad's dying, you need to go see him one more time. And then he died 2 days later. And we are convinced that she's the one that pushed him over the edge. And that she's the reason he's not here anymore. You know what I mean? Like, just
like the knowledge of what your mother was doing with your uncle and shit. Yeah.
Because my mother literally told my grandparents, her parents, whom she moved down to take care of, that she didn't want anything to do with them anymore. The only reason she was there was for my uncle. That's all it was. And that my sister was happy, that she cried tears of joy at my dad's funeral because he was gone. That, I mean, just that's how big of pieces of shit these people are. Okay. Then I go visit my other grandmother, my father's mother, who lives in the same town. She has the audacity to tell me that I need to forgive my mother because she was going through a rough time when she slept with my uncle.
Having a rough time with a rough time?
Rough time with a rough time. So I looked my grandmother dead in the eye, who claims to be one of the most religious people on the face of the planet, by the way. I looked her dead in the eye and I said, so you're trying to tell me that when she dies, according to what you believe, she's going to get to the pearly gates and God's going to be like, you committed adultery. I'm not entirely sure I can let you in. And my mother will be like, oh, it was a rough time for me. And God's going to be like, okay, yeah, come on in. You really think that's going to happen? Just...
And it's not just adultery.
No.
She stole her sister's husband.
She broke up a marriage. She disowned her parents. My grandmother is still alive. I mean, I still get to go see her. And I've got a little...
No, I'm just
keepsake.
counting like 10 Commandment rule breaks
yeah.
right now. We're up to 3.
Yeah.
4, actually.
Honor thy father and thy mother. Yeah, that's broken.
Adultery. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Yeah. Thou shalt not lie.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou
5
shalt
out
not
of 10.
kill.
That's 50%, people.
Thou shalt not kill. I can't prove that they had anything to do with my father's death, but we are like...
You're pretty sure.
We're convinced.
Well,
Look.
I
When
do
my
have a
dad
question.
died... Wait, hang on. Just
Yeah.
1 second. When my dad died, it was so sudden, I wanted to know what the hell caused it. She did a partial autopsy, stopped at his heart, didn't want to do anything other than that, and then had him cremated.
Yeah, she's hiding something.
My sister went to farm tech school. She knew exactly what kind of drugs could kill a human being, not show up in a autopsy. She had access to them, and she had means to it, and she had motive. She was the only one in the house with my dad when he died.
Again, as just for the purpose of disclaimer for Rome of the Mist Entertainment, we are not telling anybody that this is exactly what happened, and we are not advocating that anybody ever.
I'm not
do
pointing
these
any
types of
fingers.
actions. Right.
I'm just that's how our mindset is right now.
He's
Yeah.
expressing his feelings.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I just for some people it's like, well, I was watching a Rome of the Mist video and they told me I could kill a man by getting some farm tech equipment.
No.
You can kill somebody with a plastic spoon, technically. I mean, you don't need to go out of your way to find something to kill someone. Just saying. That's
kill you with an Altoids can.
That's his commentary, by the way. That's no mean do it.
Right.
I mean, I'm looking around me right now. I see 60 things I could probably kill someone with if I really got creative. So, including a fidget spinner and a cell phone. So,
Chris kind of was kind of like funny, like with the Jerry kind of deal. But for Brian's situation and the way I look at it is, that is some crazy ass bullshit.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it that way, but it is.
I'm the white sheep in a family of black sheep.
I know that feeling.
I literally am. And I mean, out of all my cousins, okay, check this out. One of my cousins is already in jail. He was in jail at 18 for being a registered sex offender because he was breaking into girls' homes and stealing their panties. The other one turned out all right. He's got a factory job. He ain't bad. One of them is in a wheelchair now because he dove off a diving board and broke his neck. The other one told my second cousin that she sure was purty and he wanted to take her out, but now he's a pastor. And then my sister.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And then my other cousin is in jail for Grand Theft Auto. So I think I'm doing pretty damn good. All things considered.
Let me ask the question, because when you got to the point where you're talking about like you were on the cusp of forgiving your mother, you know, from the previous stuff, and then you find out about her, you know, diddling your uncle, which you had just got done saying that you really looked up to your uncle, you know, obviously up until that point. What is, to the point of your rant, which was more devastating, your mother's betrayal or your uncle's?
My uncle's. My uncle was, because at that point I wasn't surprised that my mother did something like that. I was more shocked that he did.
But
then at the drop of a hat, as soon as that happened, he started treating us like shit. Anytime we messaged him saying, "Hey, we're gonna come by the house and get the rest of our belongings," yeah, you better come get it before I put it out in the front yard and fucking burn this shit. Before I go put it in a storage locker and auction it off. Like what the fuck did I ever do to you? You know, like, seriously, I mean, granted, when I found out about it, I sent him a very lengthy, very strongly worded text message telling him exactly what the fuck I thought of it. But I never did anything to him. You know, I don't know. But I'm so much happier now without them in my life. I am. Like, ever since I've been in Kansas, me and Kirsty have gotten along better. Like anytime we went to get our stuff out of that house, as soon as we stepped foot in that house, we were at each other's throats about what we were taking, what we weren't taking, how we were loading it. As soon as we drove off, everything was fine. And I mean, we're happier together. I mean, we're actually getting somewhere. We have our own house now. You know what I mean? Like, I've got the Canon library. I'm talking to you guys. You know, we've got this thing going. I mean, I've never been happy. I've got a job that I fucking love. You know, I mean, I've never been happier. And that's just goes to show, you cut negative people out of your fucking life, how much further ahead you'll get, no matter who it is. I'm not saying cut your parents out of your lives, kids. I'm not saying that. Just because they piss you off because they won't let you go out for the weekend. That's not what I'm saying. But
in extreme circumstances, yeah.
Yeah, anybody who's a negative influence on your life, you cut them out. Look at how much happier you are. I
cut my parents out of my life, so I know exactly what you're saying.
When we left Kansas, we didn't have $1 to our name. We had just enough money to get from Arkansas to Kansas. That was it. And look, we've got our own house now. I've got all this shit set up. I've actually got a Star Wars room now that I've always wanted. You know, I mean, I'm happier now. You know, and do I miss the way things used to be? Yeah, when my dad was around. But that's it.
Oh, we could have a whole episode of days gone by of things we miss or people we miss, and
we got a whole episode talking about parent issues.
Yeah,
oh my God, yes.
Because I have more than my fair share.
I mean, you know, I'm just trying to make it funny, but for some reason I just can't get it out. But from all them speculations that we hear about what people do in the goddamn South, it's actually true.
It actually is true.
Most stereotypes do have some root in some truth.
It actually is true.
Dude, I was like shocked when I was like, ugh.
Come on, you know what Arkansas state motto is, don't you? 150,000 people, 15 last names.
And Miller's one of them. Yeah.
All right, so guys, we are at an hour 10 minutes, so
yeah, it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got.
Well, Brian's got to tell his Heir to the Throne story.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Before we wrap it up, so we can end it on a lighter note.
Yeah, please. He's actually pulling the book out.
I feel better when it's not on my shelf.
But it's canon.
Shut up, Christina.
If you want me to really break his heart, at least I waited to buy the paperback, so it was cheaper for that piece of shit.
I could break this book in half right now. Like, it's that bad. Okay, so anybody who follows the Canon library knows that my favorite novel is Lost Stars, and the one that is on the bottom of any fucking list I have ever fucking made is this fucking piece of shit right here.
Is that the one with Luke walking on the alien masturbating?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
God.
This is the one. Okay, this book wasn't even supposed to be fucking canon. This is 288 pages of plain, unadulterated raw dogging. That's all this is, all right? This is literally Luke trying to get laid by a pilot. He walks in on an alien masturbating. He takes apart a lightsaber and just, like, destroys it. Doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. What else? He talks about, like, joining Vader. If he can't find somebody else to fucking teach him the Force, he's talked about... Remember that, Chris? He's talked about joining Vader in here. And, I mean... And the book is written like Luke is saying it, like it's first person. And it doesn't sound like Luke reading it at all. I don't like this book at all. Like, I hate this fucking thing. It took me 3 months to fucking read this piece of shit.
3 months to read 288 pages.
3 months to read 288
of
pages.
agonizing bullshit.
Yes. You know how many pages that equals? That's 2 pages a day, kids. Stay in school. Learn math. That's 2 pages a day. All right? damn it! Like, I hate this fucking book. And I was looking forward to it too. Like,
Yeah, because it was the first canon material with Luke Skywalker in it. That was my feeling. Like, finally, we got to get some story on Luke and what he's been doing. And
what the hell is this mess?
I read 3 pages and went, "What the fuck?" Like, now don't get me wrong. I've read some of Kevin Harn's other stuff. I actually did bend my book. I've read some of Kevin Harn's other stuff, and it's not bad. But keep him the fuck out of the Star Wars universe. For the love of shit. I mean, you know why the canon is so good now? Because Kevin Harn hasn't written another fucking book. That's why the new canon is so good right now. Like, I wouldn't even wipe my ass with the pages of this book. It's that goddamn bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are people that probably enjoy this book. You're entitled to your opinion. But I feel you're wrong. But I feel so strongly about this book that you're allowed to be an idiot if you like it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I'm not calling you an idiot. I'm just saying that's.
I am.
Like, this book, and it just fizzled out at the end. Like, Chris, you've read it. You know what I'm talking about. Like, it's all this action happening, and then it just stops.
I'm so happy I haven't read this book.
Really quick. Don't do it, Christina. It's a fucking trap.
The way the book ends is you expected it to have a sequel. You really did expect it to have a sequel.
And you expected it to go on like another 10 pages, like just to do a wrap up. But it's like everything, like the second to the last page, all this action is happening, and then it just dies off and it's the end of the book. Like, the publisher's like, we're just going to cut it here. We're not going to torture
We can't
everybody.
do this anymore.
The last 100 pages, we can't fucking do this. Like, and they didn't even get his fucking lightsaber right on the cover. That's Anakin's lightsaber from episode 3, not Luke's from episode 4. Like, it's the little shit that just pisses you off, man.
Can I make a suggestion that the next Rant Nation video we focus on Brian right now? Because I'm looking at him at a different light. We sat here and listened to 2 of his rants, one of which was very, very personal.
Very personal and serious.
Which he got through like a champ. And then he loses his mind at a fucking fictional book. That speaks volumes of shit we could dig into.
Right. You see what I really care about. I don't care about that shit anymore. Right. I care about this shit. You know, like,
and your shit got crapped all over with that book.
Brian Miller takes his Star Wars shit seriously, and God bless him on it.
Seriously, you guys want to really see me lose my fucking mind? Go watch our 1-year anniversary episode last year when I'm talking about this motherfucking monstrosity.
I'm gonna look this up.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Oh my god! Oh, ranking the novels video. I talk about it on that one too. Guys, like, seriously, if you're getting into the new Star Wars canon, start with this one because it's only up from here. Like, it only gets better. Like, if you have to read everything, read this first. Get it the fuck out of the way.
I've had it for over 20 years.
I know that wasn't like hardcore rant. I'm really tired. So
no, that's fine.
If I was in the prime of my day, I'd be throwing shit in here.
All right,
I might damage the canon.
Time at 10:30 Eastern time, I will say.
Yeah,
it's about that.
So, what I would do a little different tonight. By now, Chris, you know what you do. Christina, we all know what she does, and we all know. I think we got to end this on a positive note. Some positive this week that had happened or last week, you know, I think we need to do that. And I think the first one I'm going to just go out of the blue, 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to start with Christina because I know something at least positive had to happen in her week.
Can you come back to me? I got to think about this.
All right, well, Chris.
No, I mean, nothing majorly positive has happened this week, but I guess the positive thing I could say is, hey, I'm writing a book.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's something very positive.
Whether it's good or not, who knows, but I'm writing a book.
I've enjoyed what I've read of it so far.
I
mean, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I really do enjoy it.
I love the title.
Actually, the fact is I know it's kind of like blurred up on the screen, but it's up right here. I've been writing while waiting to start this. So
it almost looks like that movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Also, the movie, not the porno.
Yes.
That was the fourth kind.
No, the third. There was also Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which was a porno as well.
That was the shocker, right?
Yes.
Come on, Brian. You gotta have something positive.
My birthday was a week ago today.
Happy
That's positive,
birthday!
That's all I got.
That was positive. That was positive, but I know a more positive one. You just announced it today. Confirmation.
Got Mike Quinn gonna come on Star Wars Canon Library a week from tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good news.
And then also possibly have Ashley Eckstein lined up for November. So I'm pretty excited.
I could.
I wish I hadn't said that out loud now, because I was gonna fucking surprise everybody. It's all right.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you have that one, I will definitely want to be on that one too. And I will ask if I could bring my daughter, because she is a huge Ahsoka fan, as all you guys know. Yeah. So I know she would want to talk to the voice of Ahsoka.
I would say only on one condition. Only on one condition, if I were you, Brian, that you get to show that picture your daughter drew of Ahsoka off.
I'll show it, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the only way, because that picture is like the cutest drawing I've ever seen.
Yeah. She did a really good job.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put it as my positive this week is what Brian posted today on the on Messenger. About the girl with the shirt thing.
Oh.
Let me tell you something. I was so pissed off. Like, I was working hot-headed. They left me alone because I had to clean up the front of the building. I was removing a stub out of the ground, and I look at it and I was like, I just started busting out laughing. That's why I put that story about with Liz. I said, listen, you want to be man of the house? I said, you got to put on my shorts because I don't wear pants. So,
I told that bitch, didn't I?
she goes, I can't. Your shorts are too big. I said, well, then, that's why I'm man of the house.
I know this joke because the rebuttal of the joke is the wife turns around, throws her panties at her husband and says, put those on. He can't get them up past his knees. He says, I can't get in these things. And she says, that's right. And until you change your attitude, you never will.
All right, so something positive. I'm still trying to think of something positive.
You made it another week without murdering anybody.
I do not admit or deny that.
Just saying.
Yeah, let me see.
Hey,
my car died. Like dead.
Pixelated stormtroopers still count.
What?
Pixelated stormtroopers still count.
Look,
they weren't stormtroopers or sky troopers. You know something? There is actually one positive thing I will say. And it's actually job related, which me talking anything positive about my job will blow fucking somebody's mind. But I walked into work today. I was actually had that, for some fucked up reason, I actually had a positive attitude when I walked into work. And usually it's like, fuck this place. I hate this place. I want to get the fuck out of this place. Please let me get out of here without killing someone today. Please, 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 please. And I walk in and my name's not on the fucking normal board where it usually is. Because we have this like big fucking magnetic board and they stick shit everywhere. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm getting trained for problem solve, which is like one of the probably the best indirect jobs you can get in that building. So
nice.
There you go. So basically you got kind of a promotion today. Or this week, right?
No, I got more bullshit I have to handle, but at least it's fun right now.
Yeah.
It's not really promotion, it's just more shit they can make you do now. For the same pay.
Are you a Supernatural fan?
I need to get caught up severely.
Okay, wait, have you seen season 4?
Yeah, I think I have. I think I've been through most of the way through season 4.
I worked too hard to crack this joke, but an angel reached down and grasped you tightly and pulled you from purgatory.
You could have just done Constantine. It would have worked.
I could have. Yeah, I could have. Like I said, I'm tired. I still got moved. I guess still got to help somebody else.
I got a hot man that's waiting for me.
You got a hot man that's waiting for you?
Whoa!
That explains the best.
That explains the best.
And put it up to the screen.
It really says, I really thought you said hot man. And I'm going to play, I will watch. People rewind this video, wind back, comment on what you think Eric said, please. Okay, let's settle this on the internet. Rewind.
Depending on what their night plans look like, male and men could be the same thing. Just saying. So.
I'm the only one who should be allowed to say hot. I got a hot man waiting for me, which I don't.
That is not very politically correct today.
Or hot woman. Well, in my case, hot man, hot woman, hot whatever. Hot potato. It's all fun.
Hot potato.
Hey, the reason they call it Hot Pockets, you know. The reason they're still icy in the middle.
Yeah, God. We could have a rant about that, no matter how much.
You know what I'm really pissed about? They don't fucking make just straight cheese, like cream cheese toaster strudels anymore. Like, what the fuck kind of communist fucking America do we live in?
Wait,
like,
what?
They don't make cream cheese toaster strudels anymore. You can only get cream cheese with fruit. You can't just get straight plain cream cheese anymore.
And on that note, I think you need to wrap it up, Eric.
Talk about Texas strudels.
Toaster strudels, Eric.
Toaster strudels. All right, I was just trying to get some clarity over here.
All right, I think we need to wrap it up because we're at an hour 20. Yo, you got room to talk. You're wearing a leather vest too.
Well, then,
you all both look like you're ready to go to the freaking Blue Oyster, okay?
There's our copyright claim, by the way.
Yeah.
Good job, diphead.
There it was. All right.
Well, we were coming to the end of today's evening show special with my awesome cast of friends, which is like a second family. And I'm going to reach out to them and just tell whatever you want off the top of your head and letting people know who you are.
I'm very disappointed in this episode of Rant Nation because I still didn't learn what a fucking star fart sounds like.
Well, that's two things you never know what, because you still don't know what it looks like when it's people's what chairs look like if people's knees bent the other way.
Oh God, the day I said that and Brian's mind was blown. He sat there thinking about it.
I'm still not okay with that.
Well, I got a new one for you, Brian.
Urinal cakes?
You know how like when you go how like when you go
I'm
to
not
sleep,
ready.
You know how like when you go to sleep at night and your arms kind of fall asleep before you do?
Dude, okay, wait. Before you get... Okay, go ahead. I got a story about that. I got a story. Go ahead.
Don't you wish you could just take them off and hang them up before you went to bed? You know, you just grab your arm, take it off, hang it up on the wall. What would you hang the other one up with? There you go. Tell your story. Think about that one tonight.
Just a few weeks ago, I woke up in the middle of the night. It's about a month ago. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I don't know how I was laying in the bed or what, but both of my arms were just dead numb. I couldn't feel shit. I couldn't move them from the shoulder down. And I woke up, like, freaking out because I'm half asleep and, like, panicky. And I'm like, oh, God, I can't move my fucking arms. What the fuck? And I'm, like, running into the living room, and I'm, like, beating them against the wall trying to get feeling back into them. And Kirsty comes out of the bedroom.
I just think of Ace Ventura right now, or like a Jim Carrey skit.
Kirsty comes out of the bedroom. It's like 3:30 in the morning. She looks at me. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing? I can't feel my fucking arms." And I was panicking so goddamn bad.
Something? I actually have a story like that too. This was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But I was sitting down. I was actually building a computer at the time. And I was just so focused on building the computer. I was sitting cross-legged. I had the computer in front of me. I'm putting everything in. That I hadn't moved in like 4 hours, and my foot fell so goddamn asleep, it felt like it was in concrete. Like, you know that point where it goes past the sleep into like...
And it's just dead weight?
Yeah, inanimate object, inanimate limb. Yeah, and I tried to get up because somebody was at the door, and I got up. And because my foot was so dead, I fucked my ankle up. I went down like a fucking skyscraper.
At least you didn't feel it.
I felt it when my fucking head hit the goddamn... hardwood.
You didn't feel your ankle twist.
I felt that too because it was only my foot that was asleep, not my ankle.
Oh.
I'm walking up there like, at this point, I'm like kind of gimping towards the fucking door. I got blood coming out of my fucking head.
Thank you, Ellie.
I'm sitting there, open the door, yeah.
Faster!
And the person just sits there and they're like, "We have your pizza." I'm like, I'm having a really fucking bad time right now. Let me get my goddamn debit card. They're like, no, it's
I
fine.
didn't order a fucking pizza.
No, I
What
actually
the
did. I
fuck?
forgot it. But yeah, the guy was just like, here's your pizza, and just left. I was like, okay. Like, I don't know, I guess some like disheveled person storming at the door, limping, looking like with dirt on them from hitting like the fucking floor with fucking blood coming out of their head, and, like, get you a free pizza in Delaware. That's all it takes.
Just remember, I've got the shovel out.
What do you want? Pizza?
God.
Okay.
We need to wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need another 2-hour show of like breaking the
I
fourth
didn't.
wall.
All there was cookies. Ones I saw were like the ones like Ebler, Elf. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're definitely wrapping up because Eric's getting cookies.
Yes.
All right, wrap it
He's
up,
joined the
Eric.
dark side. He's joined the dark side. They got
Wrap that
cookies.
shit up, B.
Well,
All right.
I would like to thank everyone that joined tonight's special episode, and I would like to reach out to the panel and just let's end it on a positive note.
We just did.
Yeah.
Did I say that? Am I repeating? That means I'm very hungry and I want to rush to get to my food that's
Thanks.
sitting in the
His
microwave.
Keebler elf cookies.
Well, no, that was my brother Doug. That we're going to be drinking in a little bit, so I want to try to eat some food.
So it's gonna be beer and Keebler elf cookies.
I'm
awesome.
I'm rocking tonight.
I'm fucking
Dinner of
jealous.
champions right there.
Hey, all I know is make sure you're hitting that subscribe button down below. Make sure
Yeah.
you're hitting all the other great shows on realmthemist.com where we ask the really important
Also,
questions.
remember to
and
like
the
this video and like all our other videos too.
Yes, like and share and comment. We want to hear your rants. We want to hear your opinions. We want to hear what you want to hear us talk about next. But especially, just remember, in Realm of the Mist, we ask the true important questions in the entertainment world. Things like, when you choke a Smurf, what color does he turn?
Purple.
No, here's one. Here's another question for you to leave you on. You know when they say when somebody smokes weed, they turn Chinese, but what does a Chinese person turn into when they smoke weed?
If M&M's melt in your mouth but not in your hand, what do they do under your arm?
Mel.
If you punch yourself in the face and you knock yourself out, are you really strong or really weak?
Ooh.
Why is mail sent by ship called cargo, yet mail sent by car called shipment?
Well, why do you drive on a parkway and park in a driveway?
Why are
Why does-
apartments all stuck together?
Why does your nose running your feet smell?
Well, I got reasons for that.
All right, let's wrap this up, guys. We're done.
Yeah. Because we're like extended version tonight.
We're just fucking. We
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
I don't get it.
I don't care. I just right now my stomach's growling. I got liquor waiting for me, and I goddamn want to eat.
Let's let Eric go drink. Let's do this.
You shouldn't drink when pregnant, Eric. It's bad for you.
Hey,
That's right,
it's
Eric. Flash. That's right, Eric.
it's an expanding keg, and it just keeps growing.
You know what? You can go with the old saying. Goes, yeah, I have a 6-pack. It's protected behind a keg.
I can't believe you just fucking said that.
Love you, Eric.
It's all good fun and humor. That's how
Yeah.
I take it.
Oh my god.
All right. So
Yeah, love you, Eric.
Say our goodbyes, Eric. Let's call this one so you can
Yeah.
get your out.
All right, go ahead. Let's start with Chris tonight.
Later.
Bye.
Deuces.
Later, everyone. I got a hot plate
Goodbye,
with
horses.